been a while since we used this thing.
I'm a disgruntled Eagles fan, and we're awesome.
In this video, I'm going to be recapping the past 7 days of training camp. The first thing that I want to talk about is that the big injured players last year are slowly being implemented into the skills and routines of this training camp. They're allowed to do way more, and they're doing skills throughout the entire week. Like Carson Wentz, Jason Peters, Darren Sproles, and Jordan Hicks. I think this is really promising for this coming year, and it's going to help our momentum go on throughout the season. This is why I have confidence that we can go back to the Super Bowl. Most of the Eagle players are realizing that they have a target on their heads since they just won the Super Bowl. But they're not letting that get to their heads, and they're pushing forward and pushing even more harder than last year, I think. And that is why I think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl and make a good run. I'm going to show you a quick clip of Aguilar saying that he's not settling on last Super Bowl wins and he wants to win more.
Absolutely not. The only thing last season did was lay a foundation, something to build on. And it's great that we got a chance to see what the big game's like and do what we need to do there. But that doesn't mean that we're done. We laid the foundation. That is the expectation, to work hard and focus in so you can have a chance to be there.
Carson Wentz is looking really good for this training camp. So good that I think he's going to start game 1 of this coming up season. He's running around and doing practice and scrimmage games throughout the entire training camp. He's dodging players and everything. But the coaches are slowly implementing him because they don't want to overload him with work. For example, today he did not participate in 11-on-11s. Every player on this team is hungry for another Super Bowl win, especially the people who got injured last year and couldn't participate in it. I think they're even more hungry this year than last year, and that's another reason why I think we're going to make a Super Bowl run this year. The new players that we acquired this offseason and in the draft are fitting nicely into the schemes. They're practicing really well and getting accustomed to the plays and other sorts of training that needs to be done. This is really getting me excited for this upcoming year because this new talent is going to be even more exciting and more new since of how many players we got. This is the same feeling that I got last year when we did the same thing and got all of these new players. The chemistry is still really good because players are helping other players out and motivating them to do well and to get better as a whole. And newer players are getting advice from veterans, which is really nice because that makes their game even that much better. Dallas Goedert is fitting really well into the scheme. And I feel like the 3 tight ends that we have, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, and Richard Rodgers, are going to be very nice complementary players to each other, which will help our receiving core that much more. Players are wanting to grow stronger and wanting to fit into the scheme somehow, which is really exciting to see that the new players have that kind of thinking and that kind of positive thinking for the future to come. Each player is focusing in the moment and not getting too ahead of themselves. They want to focus just on the training camp and that's really good to see as well. That is that kind of thinking that's going to help them go throughout the season. Think game by game, not 3 or 4 games ahead. Nick Foles has been leading first team reps throughout the 7 days of training camp, and Carson Wentz has been leading the second string reps, which I don't mind because Carson Wentz needs to rest, but still practice. And I said this in other videos, is that I wouldn't mind Nick Foles starting the first couple of games just to let Carson Wentz rest. Nick Foles is still a very capable quarterback, and he doesn't mind being a backup, so that's good. Sidney Jones, the cornerback that we got last year in the draft, he was injured all year last year with an Achilles, I believe, is practicing on the first team, or at least getting some reps on the first team, which is really exciting to see because we need a lot better cornerbacks, or at least more improved and younger ones. So that's going to be really exciting to see in the future. Another promising thing that I've been seeing throughout this training camp is that players have been getting up and not getting hurt when they get hit. And they are hard hits. There has been healthy competition between the players, especially the cornerbacks, because of how many we have. I like this because, 1, to stay on the team, and 2, to become a first string or second string or third, etc. This is going to allow our team to become that much better and stronger and a more complete team this year. Here's some quick news. Darren Sproles says that this is his last year playing in the NFL, which is good and bad. It means that we have him for 1 more year, but we only have him for 1 more year. And he is 8th on scrimmage yards, or all-purpose yards. How far can he make it up this year? Who knows? In other news, Carson Wentz was 3rd and Nick Foles was 6th on top-selling jerseys last month, and they are still in the top 10 this month. I believe in April and May, Nick Foles was number 1 and Carson Wentz was number 2 in top jersey sales, which is really awesome to see. I got mine in 2013, so I mean, like, I'm a little bit before the time, if you know what I mean. Another thing real quick is that Nick Foles has won the Best Championship Performance ESPY Award a couple weeks ago, and I just want to congratulate him on that. And thanks for watching!